Rami X here, back with another video. This is a what if that I have done before, but I never completed it. So this is basically what I'm going to do. I'm going to incorporate the last parts, I believe there were 2 or 3, that I previously did nearly 1 year ago from this current time. And then I'm going to add, obviously, more into the story until it is complete. What you're about to hear is a version of the audio, rather the only version of the audio that is available at this time. It's only going to play for 30 seconds to a minute, as I wanted a part of the old content, the old raw, original, right? I thought that if I used, my modern day voice, that it would taint the video a little. So basically what you're going to hear is audio from me 1 year ago. And it's only going to play for a minute, and then after that it will all be new and improved audio. With that being said, I thank you for listening and being attentive during this process, and present Rami X out, but for you guys, this will all be past Rami X. Anyways, we're going to go much further in the past with this audio.
Rami X back with another video. Today's video, as the title suggests, is what if Naruto is raised by the Raikage? To be more specific, the 4th Raikage. And the like goal for this video is 150 likes to get another part, and 200 likes to get another part followed closely behind this one. So make sure to like, share the video to someone who likes what ifs, or just anime content in general, and subscribe. So, in order to make this what if make sense, Naruto's father, Minato Namikaze, otherwise known as the 4th Hokage.
Now that clip's over, I can now begin the video. I hope you guys all enjoyed that audio from a year ago. Anyways, I shall now pick off where I, technically speaking, last left off. Minato and the Raikage are going to be brothers in this timeline, with the 4th Raikage, as Naruto's uncle. Anyways, with that being said, Naruto's birth goes the exact same as it did in the canon, with the only difference being that Minato left a blade for Naruto and a note. You could call it inheritance, so to speak. One other thing is going to be changed. A 1-year-old Naruto is going to be is going to have to be able to speak. Not necessarily big words, but you know what I mean. Anyways, with that being said, 1 year later, would catch wind of Minato's passing, and this would enrage him, traveling to the Leaf Village as soon as possible, with B at his side. They would find an alone 1-year-old Naruto. Naruto would ask why they were looking at him, as they would explain that they're his family. Naruto's eyes would light up, you could say, with a smile on his face, hugging A and B. A would then tell B to take him for some food, as they would do so, as A would go to the Hokage Tower immediately. Hiruzen, Hokage. Guards would swarm him, but he quickly dodged. Basically, what's happening right now is a confrontation between Hiruzen and the Raikage. With that being said, A would continue. Lord Third, that's what they call you here in these lands. I have a daunting request. With that, Hokage guards would swarm the Raikage. A wouldn't move, kneeling to the ground. One of the Hokage guards would point a kunai to A's neck, and with that, seeing it as you could say, threat, he would send them all flying to the ground, or rather to their feet. With that, he remained calm, as A told Hiruzen that he would be taking Naruto Uzumaki. Hiruzen was puzzled. You could even say that Hiruzen was angered. I have a request, Hiruzen Sarutobi. As you know, Naruto is my nephew by birthright. And I'm requesting that you will allow me to take custody of Naruto Uzumaki. Huh? You're practically asking to take our most valuable weapon? A would understand Hiruzen's point of view, telling Hiruzen that it is his duty as Minato's brother. Hiruzen would then realize that that's what the letter was for Naruto when old enough to find A in the Hidden Cloud Village. That's what the letter must have been for. What letter English. Sorry about that. What letter? Some of you might be wondering, like, what is this letter? I guess you could say in the first part of this what if / earlier, I explained how a letter was left for Naruto. And in this letter, it basically read that Naruto, when he comes to be old enough, should seek out A in the Cloud Village. Anyways, with that being said, Hiruzen would realize that that's what the letter was for Naruto when he got old enough to find A in the Hidden Cloud Village. But Hiruzen would still be confused. A would then bow to Hiruzen, asking him, once more, to please have Naruto. Just for 9 years. And then he'll be back, and return to the village. Hiruzen would say that he is fine with that, on the agreement that Naruto isn't used as a weapon against the Leaf Village. A would then shake hands with Hiruzen, using lightning armor to find B and Naruto in mere seconds. Naruto, seeing A's speed, would remark that he wished he could be that fast. As A would reply, saying, "Eventually you will be this fast, with my teachings, that is." Naruto would then follow A and B out of the Leaf Village and into the Hidden Cloud Village. Once Naruto hit the age of 3, he would immediately start training intensively and eating a lot of proteins and carbohydrates. For training, that is. And muscle mass to be, able to train harder. He is a 3-year-old. And this feat is possible. There are 3-year-olds in Naruto that are quite powerful. Someone who's not necessarily 3 years old but is quite young is Kakashi Hatake, or even a young Minato Namikaze. With that being said, we now have another time skip of 4 years, making Naruto now 7 years old. And at this point, Naruto is stronger than a 12-year-old Naruto in the canon. Anyhow, the training Naruto had done had given him access to the complete lightning armor, and gave him Biju level chakra in stage 2. What I mean by that is he can basically use 1 through 4 of the 9 tails as chakra. With that being said, he trains every single day, and at this age he would start sparring with any strong ninja, not even A or B. Ninja like Omoi, B, A, Samui, Darui, and many high-ranking Jonin. Naruto would do these spars non-stop for 3 more years. This, as expected, by A and B would make Naruto almost as strong as them, and rapidly approaching their level, if not already there. Naruto had true potential even B and A didn't have. With that being said, Naruto, after hearing that his father, Minato Namikaze, was the 4th Hokage, and his mother, Kushina Uzumaki, or the previous Naito Jinchuriki, wanted him to master the Kyuubi, would make Naruto feel like he owed them, that he owed Minato and Kushina, his mother and father, to master the 9 tails. And thus, he continued to train on working on developing the 9 tails as chakra. With that being said, he did this every single day, so that he could access more and more of the Kyuubi's chakra. Anyhow, through meditation, Naruto was able to hold the 6 tails transformation without being taken over by the 9 tails. This also is in due part to the fact that, well, the 9 tails of steel is still very, very, very strong. With that being said, Naruto can use it normally. What I mean by that is, instead of having a sort of bone armor, like how he did versus Pain, skin peels, he's all red, that kind of thing, you can't really recognize that it's Naruto. Instead, he can do something similarly to B, where he can use the chakra of the 9 tails without turning completely monstrous, you could say.
still looking and resembling his humanoid form. Basically, he can use 6 tails of the 9 tails as chakra, while still resembling what he would look like if he used, say, 3 or 1. With that being said, Naruto had mastered about 3/5 of the 9 tails as chakra. It would be here that he would start training in Kenjutsu, and training his eyes to block Genjutsu. After being defeated to Jonin with high Genjutsu skills, as he would be successful with this training in 6 months. 6 months of training, and he would now spend his next 18 months on refining and amping all of his stats like speed, strength, durability, endurance, ninjutsu, genjutsu, taijutsu, kenjutsu, etc. As the 18 months would then be over, and Naruto had to say goodbye to his uncles, A and B. Naruto would then hug both of them, as they then apologized for putting Naruto on missions where his comrades had died to protect him. Mind the sudden music in the background. It's, I guess you could say, something that I'm experimenting with. If you guys don't like it, then it will not be in any future videos. But if you guys don't mind it, then it might be in a few other videos. Anyways, with that being said, back to the what if. It would be here that Naruto and A would have a quick little conversation. B would be a part of this conversation as well. Do I really have to go? Do I really have to return to the Leaf Village? Yes, Naruto, you do, A would say. You were the boss, Killer B would agree. I see. Wow. If I am gonna leave, then I need you to know this. I'm thankful for everything. Naruto would do a quick bow. And with that, he was off to the Leaf Village. Before doing so, he would return quickly, hugging them both and taking them down to the ground. With that, he would stand up. Dusting himself off, he would disappear, never to return. Though, it should be noted that they did apologize for putting Naruto on missions, like I stated earlier, where his comrades had died to protect him. Naruto would tell them that it's okay. Anyways, as soon as Naruto arrived back to the Leaf Village, he arrived just in time for the Pell test. Whilst on the training ground, he looked at his sensei. He even dissected him. Kakashi Hatake. So you are my sensei. He looked around him, looked at Sasuke and Sakura, and whilst looking at them, he could care less. They looked like normal individuals. But Sasuke, he was different, you could say. With that being said, Kakashi would explain the rules, as Naruto, after hearing the rules, would immediately bum rush Kakashi, who had to activate the first gate just to dodge and block 2 of Naruto's sudden punches. Naruto would then see the sudden change in Kakashi's demeanor, as he would then leap at Kakashi, throwing a punch as Kakashi would block this. Naruto would smirk. Now, Combo Star. It should be noted that this ability was an ability created by Naruto nearly 2 years ago. By the way, this is a skill that is inspired by the 7 Deadly Sins, for any of you wondering or curious. With that being said, Naruto would then unleash a flurry of punches on Kakashi. Each time a hit of Naruto's connected, more and more power would be behind them. So, gradually, the strength of Naruto's punches grew, you could say. With that being said, Kakashi would start to realize that Naruto had been getting stronger after each and every single punch. Naruto would be continuing each blow as he said 99, punching yet again and pulling back his fist. Now, 100! He would slam his fist into Kakashi as Naruto would then do the multi-shadow clone jutsu, something A and B had taught him, as Naruto's clones would catch Kakashi, putting him in a headlock. Naruto would exclaim that he's the 3rd person to survive more than 100 blows of his combo star. Kakashi would then see Naruto build up chakra in his arm with his Sharingan, revealed as he activated the Chidori, killing the clone. Kakashi would now run at Naruto, jumping back. Naruto would jump back, but Naruto had already gathered his chakra, throwing
a kunai, a Kakashi, who blocked it, dodging with the Chidori in his hand. Naruto's body would then be engulfed in electricity as he pressed on. His raw strength alone, mixed with his lightning cloak and a bit of Kyuubi chakra, obviously his Uzumaki gene as well, was enough for Naruto's strength to match the Chidori. Naruto would then push his hand forward with a gust of wind, which would push Kakashi into a tree. Excuse me. The tree would then split in two. Upon impact, Kakashi would then get up as Naruto appeared behind him, kicking him forward as Naruto's clone unsheathed his sword, holding it out. Kakashi would then go right through the blade as he started to bleed. Naruto would then appear beside Kakashi, cutting the bells as the bells came right down onto his hands. Kakashi would say that they fail and have one more chance to redeem themselves. Naruto would be confused. He had beaten Kakashi, and if this was on the battlefield, he would have killed him. Kakashi would then tie Naruto to a stump, as Naruto would explain that he is hungry, and that they don't have any, I guess you could say, impression on him. Besides, he's very strong and dumb, so they give him some food. Basically, what I'm saying is, due to the fact that Naruto has not been in the village, Sakura and Sasuke don't dislike Naruto nor like him, which means that Naruto's easily able to befriend them enough to get food from them. Meaning that they pass. With that being said, Kakashi would appear out of nowhere, saying that they all pass, which made Sakura and Sasuke smile, but not Naruto. Naruto knew that he would become a genin. Anyways, what I'm saying is, Naruto knew that even so, he would become a genin. It didn't matter if Naruto had, failed or not. He was strong enough to be one. He was strong enough to beat a Jonin, let alone be a genin. With that being said, Naruto would then walk away and into his old apartment building. Now, I do say old, but at the time that he left the village, he wasn't actually living inside of the apartment. Meaning that since he wasn't living in the apartment, it is technically his old apartment, but he has never been there. The apartment was bought in his name about 3 years ago. So Naruto was roughly 9 years old when the apartment was bought for him by Hiruzen, who was expecting Naruto to come. With that being said, Naruto would lay in his bed for the first time. He thought to himself, maybe he should try to connect with some of the members of his squad. Sakura and Sasuke. He had Sasuke in mind. Sakura was more of dead weight to him. But being on the battlefield so many times in his life, to Naruto, every person on the squad counts. Naruto would then sense Sasuke's chakra, using his lightning armor to get there. As he would then knock on Sasuke's door, Sasuke would open the door, as Naruto would ask Sasuke to come in. Sasuke would let him in, as Naruto would ask to be friends, nervously. Sasuke would say, "Why? Just why, Naruto?" As Naruto would tell Sasuke that he can see that he's alone, just like he once was. And is at least within the village. What do you mean by that? Well, you're alone here in this village. And what do you mean what? What do you mean by, like, you once were? Puzzled by this claim, Sasuke had to ask. Well, do you know what happened 4 years ago in the Hidden Leaf Village? Yeah. My family was massacred. Yes, precisely. It's speculated there was a coup, which forced Itachi's hand. But in reality, it had to have been the elders, like Danzo. And though Itachi is a very skilled ninja, he wouldn't be able to get through Fugaku with ease. Fugaku, the well-known Uchiha? No way. Oh. And so, Fugaku probably surrendered. Oh, and the other important Uchiha in this whole fray of the Uchiha massacre, Shisui. Shisui Uchiha was known for his great body flicker jutsu and his near unbeatable genjutsu, Koto Natsukami. Shisui Uchiha was a kind man. That's what they say about him beyond the least walls, at least. So I am positive he wouldn't commit suicide unless he was gravely injured. Just my opinion, but that's what I believe. I also don't think that Itachi could beat Fugaku and Shisui in the same day. That's just what I think happened. Sasuke would be surprised. I've never heard someone say such a thing. Elders? What? And why do you think you know so much about the Uchiha massacre? You weren't even here. Well, that's why it's speculation. I think after each of these facts that you've said, Shisui, my father, maybe you're right. Except for him not knowing that Itachi could have been forced to do such a thing as killing their clan, Itachi wouldn't be able to be forced in Sasuke's mind, that was, but obviously that's not the case. Sasuke would then tell Naruto that he will be his friend if he gets to unleash his anger on him. Well, Naruto, you see, since you know so much about the Uchiha massacre and all, I'm sure you know about all of the pent-up anger I have for my elder brother. The rage that I carry, the hatred I carry. If you can basically let me beat you up for as long as I want, I'll be your friend. I'll be your friend forever. So basically, you're saying you want to unleash your anger on me. And then what you'll do is... Then what you'll do is be my friend. Sure. Naruto would tell Sasuke that he doesn't mind. After Sasuke had hit him over 1,000 times at this point, Naruto would start to see Sasuke's Sharingan. Naruto thought he was just dizzy, but him releasing his anger out on Naruto had made him awaken his Tutomoe Sharingan. Naruto would then start to defend each and every blow Sasuke would throw at him. As eventually Sasuke would fall on one knee. His eyes had been burning, as he would then look in a mirror, realizing that he had awakened the Tutomoe Sharingan, an accomplishment. Sasuke would then ask Naruto how he's so powerful, as he would explain that power isn't just power. It's not just power that makes you strong, it's the people around you as well. Your mindset, your motivation. Sasuke would nod in understandings. He could see where Naruto was coming from. Sasuke would then stand, staring into Naruto's eyes with the vermilion glow of the Sharingan. Sasuke would then fist bump Naruto, as this would start the stem of their friendship. Naruto, after saying goodbye to Sasuke, would go over to the hospital to check on Kakashi, who he had went a little bit hard on. A Jonin Kakashi would be laying in a hospital bed with bandages over the wounds that Naruto had inflicted upon him, reading a Make Out Paradise volume. Naruto would tell Kakashi that he's sorry. He was used to fighting Kage, so he went a bit hard. This claim would make Kakashi scratch his head, as he said that it's fine. Just, you'll have to go on some D-rank missions for now. Naruto would then go get Sasuke and Sakura doing several D-rank missions with them. And Sasuke would go home, with Sakura doing the same. But not before asking Naruto where his strength came from. Naruto had no answers for this question, and thus wouldn't answer them. The next day, only Sasuke and Naruto would go on these D-rank missions, completing many more. Eventually, Naruto and Sasuke would get so bored of the missions that they'd rather train, as Kakashi would realize that his team is ready for a C-rank mission, asking the third Hokage for one. The third Hokage, recognizing their strength, especially Naruto's, would give them one, as they would then depart from the leaf. The next day on their journey, they would approach a... I'm not quite sure why the audio stopped there, but the next day on their journey, they would approach a puddle. It would be here, after approaching this puddle, that the Demon Brothers
would appear. Naruto wouldn't be off-guarded from them in this timeline, as Naruto would react just in time, in sync with Sasuke to take them out with ease. Naruto also wouldn't make his pledge, like in the original, because he was never scared of the Demon Brothers. Anyhow, they would then carry on their way, as they would approach the bridge, seeing two figures. Side note, Kakashi being killed by the Demon Brothers was nothing to Naruto. He was kind of surprised that Kakashi would go out so easily, but he also knew of Kakashi's strength. Kakashi wouldn't be defeated by two mere Chunin. With that being said, Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura, Kakashi would all continue on their way. It would be then that they would approach the bridge, seeing two figures. One was Hakuyuki, skilled in the use of ice release, and the other, Zabuza Momochi, skilled with the use of his executioner's blade, and known worldwide as the Demon of the Mist. Naruto and Sasuke, as well as Kakashi, would rush at them, with Kakashi going for Zabuza, and Naruto and Sasuke going for Haku. This is where we have a difference from the original timeline. This Naruto has met Zabuza. Zabuza recognized Naruto nearly immediately. Whilst clashing with Kakashi, he would start to speak and even talk to Kakashi. That brat you're carrying around, do you know who he really is? Huh? What are you talking about? You mean Naruto? Or Sasuke? I knew it. It is him. I'm talking about Naruto Uzumaki, the blonde-haired boy that runs around like he's the king of the world. What? What are you talking about? Ah, I see. So you have no clue. Well, listen. Stop fighting me, just for a second. Kakashi would pause in his place, as Zabuza would lift up his battle armor. You see this scar? Down from my neck to my stomach? This scar was given to me by Naruto Uzumaki. But of course you wouldn't know that. Because about 5 months ago, Naruto, the fourth Raikage of the Hidden Cloud Village, and Killer Bee, the eighth-tailed Jinchuriki, erased all hints of Naruto from the ninja world. What? Why would they do that? Well, the Leaf couldn't know that Naruto had become such a strong and valuable ninja. They also couldn't know of Naruto's name, what he was known for. His ninja name? He goes by many. Naruto of the Blade, Naruto the Fearless, Naruto the Enraged. But some, in the East and the West, they've come to call him Naruto, the King of Ninja, the one who sits upon the throne of Kage. It's all a myth in theory. There is no throne of Kage. But it is a name that people refer to him in those lands. A, the fourth Raikage, and Killer B, the eight-tailed Jinchuriki, as I mentioned earlier. They erased him from history. Completely. He's nowhere to be found now. You could say that he's much like a legend. A folklore, a tale, a fable. I see. So Naruto gave you that scar. Yeah, and he's given many other people scars like it. Head to toe, they're covered in scars from Naruto. His blade grazes all. They say that if Naruto Uzumaki goes easy on you, then he's either having a bad day or he's sick. I see. Why wouldn't that be a good day if he was, holding back on someone?
Funny you say that. Some came to refer to Naruto in the north and the south as the executioner. What? Why? Because he executed ninja from north to west, south to east. It didn't matter. What the hell? Yeah, and that brat's riding along with you. But it's not like I care. Now, Zabuza would catch Kakashi off guard, as Kakashi would kick Zabuza, sending him flying. With that being said, we now skip to Sasuke and Naruto versus Haku. With that being said, there is going to be a quick change to the timeline. Haku is going to have a brother, and Zabuza is going to have a sister. Zabuza's sister we will get into later, and Haku's brother we will also get into later. With that being said, basically they'll be the exact same, just different personalities. Anyhow, the combined efforts of Naruto and Sasuke was too much for Haku, who would then call for his brother, immediately turning the tide of battle, as Naruto would then kick Haku, making it a 2-on-1. But Haku would get back into the fight. This cycle would continue for about 10 minutes straight, as Naruto would decide to end the fight right there and then, activating his version 2 Lightning Cloak and 6 Tails QB Chakra. He would then prepare a Liger Bomb, as he lifted Haku into the air, slamming her into the ground, and disrupting her spinal cord. Haku is a she in this timeline. As Haku's brother, Haki, saw Naruto in retrospect disable his sister, this would anger Haki, as he would whistle, making Zabuza's sister, Toka, come out and aid Haki, as a newly angered Haki and Toka will prepare to fight Team 7. And more, specifically Naruto and Sasuke. Anyhow, this is where the first part would originally end. Now on to the second part. Also, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. That would be greatly appreciated. With that being said, we now can get back into the video. We left off with Naruto and Sasuke being put in a 3-on-2 situation versus Toka, Zabuza's sister, and Haki, Haku's brother, as Haku is a girl in this timeline, as well as Haku himself being quite strong and formidable. With that being said, though that doesn't really have anything to do with him being a girl. With that being said, Sakura at this point was protecting Tazuna with a kunai in hand, and we can now start here. Naruto, seeing that Haki was upset that he had hurt his sister, would smirk. 3 Senbon would then come towards Naruto as they hit his legs, which slowed him down gravely, but it was to no avail. Haki had angered Naruto. Naruto would then unsheath his blade, funneling electricity through it, mixing it with chakra. This sword is an extension of my will itself, because I am Naruto of the Hidden Cloud Village. And now, Naruto with the Leaf Village shall emerge. Oh, and did I forget to mention, I am the son of the 4th Hokage, and the son of the previous Jinchuriki of the Nine Tails. In the Cloud Village they call me C. I see, Haki would say. A, B, and C, the legendary trio. They say that you terrorize people on your missions, that anybody in your squad would be willing to risk their lives for you, even die for you. No way, that's you. This word, C, being uttered from Naruto's mouth, would shock Zabuza, Haki, Haku, and Toka. Naruto would then spin, slamming his blade into the ground and killing Haku, making them even more angry. Kakashi would then ask Zabuza who C was, as Zabuza would continue to explain. He would explain that he is a legendary ninja, feared in all of the villages except for the Leaf, because of some arrangement, and as such, they hadn't caught wind of his endeavors. It's said that he easily tamed the beast Shukaku without using his legs, without even having his legs at his disposal, only using one hand. C adds more on to Naruto's legend. But over the years, C has become a whole entire different persona, you could say. There's Naruto, the executioner, the enraged, some even have come to call him the madman.
But then there's C, the level-headed, calm, smart, strong, intelligent, and fearless man. The ruthless executioner who was known throughout the lands. With that being said, Naruto also has many more tales, and the tale of defeating Shukaku with only one hand is indeed a true story. But many other tales about Naruto are unknown, Zabuza would exclaim. Those tales and legends don't scare me. I'll fight until he is dead. Zabuza would quickly slash at Kakashi's legs, making him temporarily immobile as he went to aid the others. Naruto would then implant his sword into the ground as he would rush into the fight completely. Naruto, induced in the vibe of fighting, would dodge one of Toka's blows, pulling out his short sword and clashing with her. Naruto would then move in a butterfly-like pattern around Toka. I recognize you. You carry the replica of the Executioner's blade. Zabuza of the Mist's sister. He would then hit a single tenketsu of Toka's. Tenketsus are chakra points. With that being said, Toka would jump back. Haki would then be right behind Naruto, moving in for the attack, as Zabuza would jump up into the air, bringing his sword down to the ground to hit Naruto. Naruto would then barrel roll under Haki, turning to Toka, as he would cut all around her. This would basically give her short hair, as Naruto's goal wasn't to hurt her. He wanted to strip away her pride first. As he would punch Zabuza, Zabuza would grab this punch, twisting Naruto's arm. As Naruto's arm twisted, he would then use his free arm/hand to grab Zabuza's hand, pulling it down and onto his knee. With a thud, Naruto would crack Zabuza's skull as he grabbed his collar, throwing him into the ground. He would then create 3 shadow clones that would continue a combo on Zabuza, as they would throw kunai wire around him, splashing water everywhere. This was water style. Naruto had gained many chakra natures while in the Cloud Village. All 5 to be exact. With that being said, he would then combine it with his lightning style, the water that is, and using wind to push him around in the air. Zabuza would be put in a sort of combination jutsu that acted as a tornado with water and lightning style, which electrocuted him. With that, Naruto would then pull Zabuza down abruptly and suddenly, killing Zabuza. He would then look at Haki and Toka. He would understand, as he would pick up Tazuna and Sakura, running as fast as he could, and stopping as he looked back at Naruto, nodding and running. This was Sasuke. Sasuke had picked up Sakura and Tazuna, as Naruto told him to. With that being said, Naruto smirked, activating 3 tails of his chakra. Toki/Toka and Haki would start apologizing to Naruto, but Naruto would be angered. Naruto, we are sorry. We know of your reputation as the executioner, and we apologize. We didn't mean to tarnish your reputation. Naruto would be angered by this even further, mentioning that he was the executioner and thinking that they would get away with their lives. Gah! Naruto would roar out in anger. A purple aura would surround him, growing bigger and bigger each second, and slowly engulfing Haki and Toka. It would then create a dome around them. Naruto would then grab 2 of his short swords, stabbing them into both of them, as he would then tell Haki and Toka that he is indeed C, the legendary ninja who will one day indeed bring peace through that which is love. He will be the ninja to achieve true peace in the ninja world. I am C, Naruto would yell out to Toka and Haki, who at this point were on their knees, begging Naruto for their forgiveness. Toka and Haki, on their deathbeds, would tell Naruto that he is powerful, and that no shame was brought to them from dying to Naruto's blade, even though they were not allies. Naruto would then fall on one knee, coughing up blood. I overdid it. I wasted too much chakra on pointless things. Like, for instance, making Toka scared. Naruto would then dig into his chakra reserves, creating an ice stream. How did this ice stream get created? Well, it was actually really simple. He used water style,
wind style, and a secret type of chakra nature that I'll get into much later on in the what if. With that being said, Naruto would then bury them all, as he would then return back to the general area. Basically, he left kind of the bridge area, and it would be here that he would walk into water, creating another ice stream, as he grabbed Kakashi, gliding down the stream. Here, he would be able to create the jutsu, because now I'm going to get into the, I guess you could say, the logistics of how you can use ice style. By studying Haku and Haki during their brief encounter, learning the nature transformation, as he does have wind and water chakra natures. Naruto would then create a bath for himself, making it an ice bath as he pondered the thought of killing, and what it meant to take the life of another person. Naruto's ice bath looked like the blood bath, as it was completely red. Naruto had forgotten that Haki had slowed him down with his ice kunai, as he would bandage his wounds. By ice kunai, it is referring to the 3 senbon that were shot at Naruto's leg earlier in the fight. With that being said, Naruto would sigh, slapping himself in the face. Remember, Naruto, you're not the executioner anymore. You're Naruto of the Leaf now. You can't kill as you please. With that being said, they would all return back to the Leaf Village after completing, well, the necessary task, as it would be here that they would all debrief for Ruzin, and later that day, they would all be told that they were to be registered in the tuning exams by Kakashi. Naruto would train hard with Sasuke, until he had to go get some ramen, seeing an old man with long hair and the headband of a Sanin. Naruto would immediately recognize this as Jiraiya, and master of his father. Jiraiya, hearing Naruto say that he was his father's master, would immediately get serious, taking Naruto to an isolated training ground. Hey kid, that's top secret information. How the hell do you know that? Naruto would then explain his life to the Sanin Jiraiya. When I was younger, my uncle, and someone who I would later consider to be called a brother, Killer B, took me out of the village with the third Hokage's permission, of course, and brought me to the Cloud Village. I trained there for several years. But they had an arrangement. Obviously, I couldn't be just given over to the Cloud Village. So, I had to promise to return. A actually promised on my behalf. I was quite young at that time, about 1 year old. And ever since that day, I've been training. Training to get stronger, to honor my father and my mother, whose lives were taken to save my own. I'm aware of everything, Jiraiya. I see. Jiraiya would be shocked at the events that had occurred in Naruto's life. But nevertheless, he was happy to see his godson. Jiraiya would then tell Naruto that he'll train him. Naruto in this timeline would already know how to water and wall walk, so we skip straight to summoning jutsu. Naruto would get this down in an hour's time, as the rest of their training would be spent on sparring heavily, as Naruto would then wait for Sasuke to finish. Though, while sparring, Naruto would also work on developing the Rasengan. Anyhow, continuing to train intensively with Sasuke, forcing him in most cases to use the Chidori. Forcing Sasuke to use the Chidori through their sparring. Naruto would be able to do that, as this Sasuke already knows the Chidori. Anyhow, with that being said, we now skip to the events of the Forest of Death. With all of the events beforehand going the same, besides Rock Lee and Naruto versus Sasuke. Naruto, before the fighting, Rock Lee would ask if it could be a 2-on-1, with Lee gladly agreeing. Anyhow, Naruto would run at Lee, with Sasuke at his side, as Sasuke would then kick Lee with Naruto, grabbing Lee midair and using his stage 1 lightning armor to spark electricity through Lee's body. Lee would have to activate the first gate of opening, just to take the voltage, as the sudden 6 times amp would off-guard Naruto, as Lee broke free. Naruto sensed that this chakra was familiar. Where had he seen it? It was Kakashi. Kakashi used this chakra, this denser chakra, that couldn't be seen by the human eye. With that being said, Sasuke would then rush towards Lee with his Sharingan in its Tutomoe state, as he would then throw a punch at Lee. Lee would sidestep this attack, grabbing Sasuke's arm and twisting it 42 degrees. Sasuke would then spark electricity through his arm, forcing Lee to jump back. Kicking Sasuke in his mouth, Sasuke would then put his finger to his tongue as it was bleeding. Sasuke's blood would stir, as his body would be induced into the vibe of fighting, creating a single shadow clone that would run towards Lee. Sasuke would tell Naruto that he can handle the rest, as Sasuke would also remark that he was close to beating him, but he is far too weak to compare to my power. Basically, he's saying that Lee was close to beating him, but Lee is too weak to compare to him. With that being said, Sasuke would connect 2 punches with Lee's body. As they connected, Lee would be tanking these attacks, but he would provide expressions on his face that told different stories entirely. Expressions of pain. Sasuke would then punch Lee into the air, running over to the area that his Sharingan had predicted that he would land, as he would then put out his foot, connecting with Lee's body. Sasuke would smirk, remarking that it's not over, as his clone would then judo slam Lee onto the ground. As within the interval that Sasuke did this, Naruto would appear out of nowhere, lifting Lee's body into the air and throwing him like a human boomerang, repeatedly putting his palm out and adding wind style to keep it moving. To keep Lee moving like a boomerang and in a circular-ish formation. As Sasuke would then prepare an Uchiha-style fireball jutsu, exclaiming, "Naruto, I told you that I had this handled." Well, if you continued, you would have beaten the guy to death. Him being dizzy and burnt is a lot better than him being dead and burnt. With that being said, Sasuke would smirk, with his clone doing the same. They would both then use Uchiha-style fireball jutsus, Sasuke and his clone, not Sasuke and Naruto, as Naruto would then use gravity in tandem with his wind style to create a pull effect, pulling him into the fireball, pulling Lee into the fireball, as Naruto would then appear in front of Rock Lee, and Sasuke as Lee's burnt body glided through the fireball and onto the ground. Naruto would then pull back a punch, amped by his lightning armor in Two-Tail's state. "It's over, Lee! Dynamic punch!" This would, well, connect with Lee's body, or so Naruto as well as Sasuke thought. But a swoosh of air suddenly appeared. A Jonin also appeared, having Lee in his arms. This Jonin was Rock Lee. It looked exactly like an older version of Rock Lee, if such a thing existed. This Jonin had red skin, as velvet, even. With that being said, it was Guy Sensei. Guy would slowly be pushed back as Naruto would tell Guy that he'd rather finish his attack on someone if that's okay with you. Guy would say that it is okay, as 2 more tails would appear at Naruto's collarbone. He was then able to push Guy into the 5th gate, pushing Guy into the wall of the room. Lee would then stand up, looking at Guy with tears streaming down his face, apologizing for what he had done and how he was hurt and how he used the 1st gate of opening. "Lee, I'm fine." "But Guy Sensei!" "Lee, I said I'm fine. Now rest up for the endeavors you'll have later, Lee." With tears in his eyes, Lee would walk out of the room. Before doing so, he would bow. "Guy Sensei, I promise I'll never do it again." "Excellent, Lee. Now get some rest." With that being said, Lee would leave the room. Naruto would tell Guy that he did go a little overboard, as Guy would tell Naruto that a little overboard is an understatement. A little overboard? That's all? You beat my student beyond compare, and for that I should have you on the ground right now. But for respect for Kakashi-sensei, I won't lay a finger on you. This is where part 3 of the What If would begin, as we can now continue. We start off in the Forest of Death. Also, I guess I will mention this as this was in the original version. Wash your hands. This was made nearly a year ago, technically speaking. At least 1 through 3 of the parts. Everything after this part is new. After the part that I'm about to cover. But, I guess I included this in the regular script to wash your hands, because back then the coronavirus had, just started to become a worldwide thing, and, yeah. Anyways, back to what I was saying. I'm gonna read it out, actually. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button, as I want to hit 5K by June and 10K by the end of the year. So just make sure to wash your hands frequently due to the coronavirus, as you people watching this video are possibly a liability to your families, your parents, and or even your grandparents. Possibly spreading the virus, which we as a society don't need. And if you don't have water around to wash your hands, use hand sanitizer with at least 60% alcohol in it, or soap, and you get the point. Anyhow, we left off with Team 7 having to enter the Forest of Death, and we'll pick up from there. Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura would travel in a perpendicular bow shape, as they would pick up speed. Naruto would then move to the back of the bow/line. With that, a snake would appear, about to eat Sasuke. What the fuck? Sorry, I just saw a spider. I'm about to kill this. I have exterminated the spider I saw. Okay. Anyways, with that being said, sorry for that short interruption. I would have cut that out, but I just thought it was a little bit more raw. Obviously, I did exclude the part where I killed the spider. You know, not trying to get age restricted. I'm just kidding. Anyways, with that being said, Naruto would instantly power up into his lightning armor, stage 2. And if you've made it this far, consider hitting that like and subscribe button, or sharing the video to a friend who likes what it is, or just anime content in general. Naruto would then hold the snake's mouth open, as the electric currents coming off of Naruto's armor fried the snake from the inside out. Naruto would then see that in the brief interval of him killing the snake, his team, Sakura and Sasuke, had been fighting Orochimaru, with Sakura only blocking and Sasuke doing the true fighting, evading, blocking, and even parrying Orochimaru's blows. This Sasuke is stronger, meaning his willpower is also a little stronger as well, making him not be paralyzed when he sees Orochimaru, even though he is scared. Naruto would then observe Orochimaru, keenly sensing his body movements and studying his style. It would be here that Orochimaru and Naruto would talk. Naruto knew who Orochimaru was by his style. He could sense it. You are the Sanin. Orochimaru, right? I recognize this fighting style and the essence I'm getting off of you. Well, Orochimaru, I guess we should begin battle now. With that being said, Naruto and Orochimaru would begin their battle. Mind the background music. It sounds really loud for me, but I don't think it's going to be as loud in the actual video. Anyways, with that being said, Naruto would then rush towards Orochimaru. As with that being said, Orochimaru would extend his head towards Naruto, as Naruto would see this as peculiar and dangerous, stepping in the way of this bite. Basically, Orochimaru appeared to be going towards Naruto, but due to the fact that Naruto trained his eyes to be able to avoid Genjutsu, this also meant that his mind could avoid Genjutsu and mind tricks. His eyes were more advanced than normal human eyes, meaning that he could sense and see that Orochimaru was actually going for Sasuke, trying to bite Sasuke's neck. Naruto would see this, getting in the way of this bite, as Naruto would then fall on one knee. As Orochimaru extended his head yet again, ready to get Sasuke, biting him, Sasuke would now also fall on one knee. Naruto's stomach would then start to growl. It had seemed that the Nine Tails didn't enjoy the curse mark's influence and manifestation in Naruto's seal. The Kyuubi would slowly eat away at the curse mark, though he couldn't completely erase it, as he had gone for Sasuke and wanted that curse mark to be permanent, in fact going as far to use the cursed seal of heaven. Naruto would then stand up, a purple aura emanating off of him, as well as a vermilion red and azure blue aura. These three auras in tandem looked archaic, unnatural, unorthodox, even weird. Naruto would then activate the Nine Tails chakra in its three-tailed state, lightning armor, in its 1.5 stage in the curse mark. Naruto would leap at the escaping Orochimaru. Gah! I won't allow you to escape, you slimy snake bastard. Naruto would then propel himself off of a tree, appearing in front of the snake, signing, "It's over." Naruto would then use a Liger Bomb on Orochimaru, picking him up and slamming him down into the dirt beneath him. He would then stand up after he had launched the attack, unsheathing his blade. Goodbye, Orochimaru, legendary snake Sanin. But just be grateful that you died to Uzumaki Naruto's hands. Or I guess you know me by the name C. You're C? Yes, Orochimaru, I am C. No way. It is true what they say, that the executioner is as ruthless as his hair is blonde. Then I guess it is true what they say. Now die. Goodbye, Orochimaru. Naruto would then plunge his blade through Orochimaru, killing him. Orochimaru would then transport himself to Kimamaru's curse mark, using his body to stay alive, which Orochimaru is able to do. An example of this would be in the Sasuke vs Itachi fight. Anyhow, Naruto would then grab Team 7, setting up camp as he fell asleep from exhaustion, the curse mark still feeding on his chakra like an eager raven. Dosu, Zaku, and Kin would approach a sleepy Sakura, asking her to hand over the bodies of Naruto and Sasuke. Sakura would say no, with a stern look on her face. I won't give you my teammates. I won't give you my teammates. Her voice trailed off. Dosu would then speak. What are you trying to say? I won't give you my teammates. We are what? Dosu would then attack Sakura, with Kin leading the charge, beating her senseless. It had seemed that Lee was later than in canon. Naruto and Sasuke would then wake up, rushing at the trio, as Sasuke would unleash hell upon them all, with Naruto at his side. Naruto would cut into Dosu, cutting into Dosu's body and biting past the sound waves he created. Sasuke would slowly and eagerly walk towards Zaku, instilling fear within his body. Sasuke would then unsheath his blade, as he relentlessly cut into and through Zaku multiple times. Zaku would be ignorant, using his sound waves at max force. This would force blood out of Naruto and Sasuke's ears, but they themselves hadn't even flinched one bit. It didn't hurt. Naruto would be angered that he wouldn't be able to hear for a while, as he was also angered that Zaku was so arrogant to attack him in his state, remembering the lessons that A had taught him, especially the ones on the battlefield, to be ruthless, to not show remorse for no good reason, and to try to win the fight at any cost and protect your comrades with your life. And then, the lessons that B had taught him, to value friendship at all cost, and concentration. Naruto would then leap at Zaku, his eyes closed, meditating. It would be here that he would flatten Zaku like a loaf of bread, as he would then put torrents of electricity through Zaku's body, repeatedly, in short, extreme volts with high and concentrated velocity. Zaku's organs would then start to shut down, as Naruto would sense this, as he would then throw him into the air. Dosu and Kin would watch in fear, as Sasuke boosted himself off of the ground, axe-kicking Zaku 3 times in a row, and pulling him back by the back of his shirt and down to the ground. Naruto's blade would then be out, as Zaku went right through it like butter, tumbling to the ground in a panic. What was all that big talk about you forcing Sakura to give us to you? I heard it all. Every bit of it. Looks like a no-show to me. Get him, Sasuke. Naruto would then pick up Zaku, putting his foot in the center of his back, as he abruptly pulled his arms back, breaking Zaku's back in the process. Zaku would then fall to the ground, gracefully in pain, as Naruto and Sasuke had beaten, quite literally, the sound out of him. They would then look over to the 2 other sound members, Dosu and Kin, with grimaces on their face, or smirks if that's what you want to call them. Now speak, and tell us everything. Dosu would then shake his head. as Naruto and Sasuke would unsheathe their blades. Dosu would immediately tell them everything about Orochimaru, even the plan to attack Konoha, with Naruto deciding to kill them anyways. With Sasuke, as they had only listened because of fear, and they hadn't saved their comrade. As Naruto and Sasuke did this, they felt a sense of regret as the curse mark receded. Tears would fill Naruto's eyes, and one tear would shed from Sasuke's. Naruto had come to the realization of what he had just done. He swore to put his executioner life behind him, but with the sudden emergence of the curse mark, it was like none of that mattered anymore. All he wanted was bloodlust, to quench his thirst, you could say. And it was the sheer volume of how they did it. They didn't care, and that they couldn't fathom taking another life in the circumstances in which they did. They had been influenced by the curse mark so heavily that they had went as far as to take a life that was meaningful. Naruto would then think back to the 16 people that he had killed in his life that were, I guess you could say, more or less people that he understood, as Naruto had killed many people besides these 16 people. But these were the main 16, who he had only killed because his life was endangered. That was the only reason they took those lives. All 16 written down on a paper in his windbreaker. Naruto would then recite the paper. Riku, Koil, Zen, Marcial, Jinki, Delven, Toka, Matarashi, Naka, Yuki, Haruto. Naruto, is this some sort of jutsu? Sora, Ryo, Yui, Kana, and Akari. No, Sasuke, it's not a jutsu. I'm just saying random names. Well, I guess I can be straight with you. The names I just said, they're the 16 other people that I've killed in this world. The ones that matter, anyway. I only killed them because my life was endangered. Naruto would close his eyes, thinking back to his battle with Akari, a strong female warrior who he had been tasked with assassinating, but he had later denied the mission, having to do it anyways. Due to her feudal lord during their battle. Basically, her feudal lord attacked Naruto's feudal lord, and it forced them to fight. With that being said, he still didn't want to kill her. And that's when he saw that some ninja were mindless soldiers, with a sole purpose to kill and kill alone. And in the end, the girl had shown compassion towards him, even going as far as to kiss him on her deathbed. Naruto would then strike electricity through the paper, frying it as it blew into the sky. Naruto and Sasuke as well as Sakura would then press on, walking through the forest, while Team 10, 8, and 9 watched in horror. Not stepping in, Naruto thought back once more into his fight with Akari. I'm Akari, the female warrior that you were tasked with fighting. I think actually that you were tasked with assassinating me, Naruto Uzumaki. Akari. I denied the mission, but I was sent on it anyways because of your stupid feudal lord. I know. I was surprised to hear it. The execution of Naruto that ravaged villages from northeast, west, south, and west. Showing mercy on me. I thought maybe it's because I'm a girl. Or maybe he doesn't want to assassinate someone in the first place. But this is war, Naruto. Might be a small war, but it's still war. You know you have to do this. They continued the talk for several hours, stalling their fight. As Naruto grew a connection to Akari, and Akari grew a connection to her. Or him, rather. My apologies. With that being said, Naruto would be forced to fight Akari, as eventually their fight continued to drag on for another 5 hours. Naruto and Akari were both tired, and at this point, they had been clashing blades. Akari would tell Naruto that in their short time of knowing each other, Akari felt happiness for some odd reason. And she would remark that she loved Naruto. Letting Naruto kill her. As Naruto charged forward, she went right onto his blade. As Naruto would be surprised, pulling his blade out of her and holding her in his arms. Damn it! No! This wasn't how it was supposed to end. You a fool? Why would you do this? No, you knew I was coming at you with full force, and you still... And yet I still died on your blade, didn't I? This blood, it's yours. Doctor, I need a doctor! Naruto would yell out. I need a doctor now! But nobody came. Not a single doctor was nearby. They were all closer to the front lines, you could say. Damn it. Damn it, damn it, damn it! Damn this ninja world. Damn everything it stands for, damn everything! Naruto would slam his fist into the ground, causing a small but subtle earthquake. Why did you do this, Akari? If we continued fighting, we both would have just collapsed from exhaustion. We were on even footing. Yeah. But I know how order of command goes. If I went home without your head, I would have been scolded. Much worse, beaten. If you went home without my head, you would have lost your reputation. And in a world of bad people, senseless ninja, people who follow orders, being someone with great reputation is much more important than being a loyal servant. So yeah, I did make you kill me. I did let you kill me. I did go into your blade with no hesitation. Because Naruto, you know what? No, don't say any more. I can find a way to heal you. Doctor! Naruto would continue to yell. Naruto, you and I both know there's not another doctor in at least 3 kilometers from here. And 4 if you're holding me. No. You can't be serious. Naruto, you didn't let me finish. I love you, Naruto. Naruto would fall to his knees whilst holding Akari. No! Naruto would yell out into the air. People say that his cries could be heard a battlefield away. Damn it. Naruto continued to slam his fist into the ground. I couldn't. Why couldn't she live? Why couldn't I do anything to stop her death? Naruto's hands began to fill with not only Akari's dead body, but his tears as well. It began to rain as Naruto looked down to the ground, empty. B would find Naruto in the middle of the rain, in the middle of a clearing in the forest, holding the lifeless body of Akari. B would approach Naruto as he thought about spitting a rhyme, you could say, but instead he comforted Naruto. Naruto, I'm gonna tell you something that you need to hear. I know. It's sad. Heck, I'm starting to tear up looking at this. But it happens. It happens, kiddo. You gotta understand that. Okay, little bro? Listen. There's a lot of people in this world. There's a lot of people in this world that we wish didn't die or that we could protect. The former Jinchuriki of the Eight Tails for me, yo. But you'll get through this. And when you do, you'll smile. You'll feel happiness again. After that void in your heart is filled, I don't know when, I don't know how, but it will fill itself. You'll learn to live with the pain. You must, or you'll be engulfed in the darkness. You're only human. I know. B, I know. Then how about you get up, put the girl down, I'll bury her, and then we can go home. No, I'll bury her. It's my responsibility. Tell Uncle A that the girl he ordered me to assassinate died to my blade, and that she fell in battle, not as someone assassinated, but as a warrior. B would nod, leaving the area. Naruto would begin to dig a hole with his bare hands, his nails etched into the dirt. His fingernails began to bleed as he began to dig up the grave with his own bare hands. He found flowers, mostly flowers, but some were small leaves and bushes. And he put them in the dirt. A flower bed he made as he laid Akari down on it. You know, Akari, I loved you too. But unfortunately, that was shortly lived, right? And there's nothing I can do about that anymore. I have to learn to live with that. And I know it's gonna be hard, but I have to. Goodbye, Akari. Naruto would start to throw dirt on her body as he realized that that was wrong. That she shouldn't be buried with dirt. And instead, he found more flowers and more and more and more, filling the grave as he walked away. And back to present day. With that being said, teams 10, 8, and 9 watched in horror as Naruto and Sasuke left the scene, with the bloody bodies of Dosu, Kin, and Zaku on the floor. With that being said, they hid their presences. Even Neji and Kiba, two arrogant ninja, couldn't help but feel fear towards Naruto and Sasuke, as they would then scurry out of the forest, surprisingly blitzing past Gaara's team. With Sakura on Naruto's back and Sasuke at Naruto's side, they would realize that somehow they had broken Itachi's record and Gaara's score. Naruto and his team would then debrief Hiruzen on the situation that had occurred. Hiruzen would tell Naruto that Orochimaru can take over bodies, and from that he's been able to become immortal. He's possibly not dead, though it is very impressive that you and your team had defeated Orochimaru. Nevertheless, for that, you shall be awarded. Now go on. You have the preliminaries ahead of you. Naruto and his team would then go on to crushing everyone ahead of them, even with their curse marks gnawing at their chakra. The only thing here is that Sakura still ties with Ino in the exams, and now we have a 1-month time skip, in which Naruto trains with Jiraiya, Sasuke with Kakashi, and Sakura surprisingly stays useless throughout this time period. Although Naruto does check up on her every once in a while when he has free time. With that being said, Naruto, already having good chakra control, doesn't get taught to walk on water or wall walk, already knowing the summoning jutsu now due to Jiraiya's training, because he had, learned it from Jiraiya. And as far as the wall run and water run, B had taught him those things. And with that being said, Naruto also knew the summoning jutsu, as I mentioned earlier. It would be here that Naruto would continue the practice with the summoning jutsu, in just 3 tries, drawing out more and more chakra each time, mastering it, as he would then stick to Gamabunta as his, summoning toad. For 24 hours, gaining Gamabunta's tutelage and mastery. If you will, I guess you could say, if you will. Due to the fact that Naruto had finished in one day, Jiraiya starts to teach him the basics of the Rasengan, which Naruto had already started to get down when he was training with Jiraiya before. With that being said, Naruto would add his own chakra nature to the jutsu, lightning style, making the Chidori on accident. And if you don't know, that's kind of how the lightning blade was created. Kakashi added the lightning nature to the Rasengan, creating the lightning blade. Anyways, with that being said, Naruto would then work on the amount of chakra it took to make the Chidori, and individually worked on making the Chidori and making the Rasengan, saying farewell to Jiraiya after the 1 month was over, and going to eat Ichiraku's ramen. Naruto on his way would see a red-haired boy. Naruto would see this boy as familiar. He would then look at his forehead, seeing the kanji for love. Oh, that's right. He's the guy who he just barely beat in the forest of death. Naruto would then look at him intently. Why are you looking at me so oddly? Just seeing another Genin's prowess. Don't worry about it. I like the tattoo you got on your forehead. Get away from me before I kill you, Gaara would utter under his breath, as Naruto would then get into a fighting stance. You telling me that you could kill me? Let's test that theory. Naruto would then unsheath his blade. Gaara would see this as a threat, leaping at Naruto. With that being said, Naruto wouldn't let Gaara get any further, grabbing Gaara. This is where part 3 would end in the natural timeline, and everything beyond here is, technically speaking, new. And this is where I continue the series from where it was left off, meaning the rest of the video is now new, so to speak. With that being said, Naruto would clench his fist, staring into the eyes of an enraged Gaara. It would be then that he would unsheath his blade. Gaara Kazekage. You know, I had the honor of getting to travel to the Sand Village. It's hot. Real hot. Oh, and the sand there, it's always getting in your eyes. But I guess since you were born there and all, you've probably gotten used to it. Oh, and also, it has amazing sand structures. I think they're built out of mud or even the sand that's there. It's wonderful. But you know all of that because you're the son of the 4th Kazekage, Rasa. Right? How do you know my father? I don't know him. But anybody can know enough about a Kage to know who his son is. Anyhow, Gaara, you committed the worst act of your life in your miserable existence when you threatened a Genin of the Leaf Village. Understood? Gaara grit his teeth. My miserable existence is none of your concern. With that, Naruto would cut into Gaara, putting his blade to the side. With that, he would grab Gaara, running further and further out of the village, even further than he did before. With that, Naruto would then yell out, lightning style, lightning armor, stage 2. Gaara wouldn't allow Naruto to make a fool of him, using his sand to create a dome. With that being said, Naruto would watch as this dome surrounded Gaara. I've met my my fair share of idiots like you. Dummies, fools, stupid individuals who think that they can double-cross me, who think that they can get the better of me, or even those who think that they can defend themselves against me. Let's put it this way. I don't know if you know this, Gaara, but I guess you're in for a, history lesson. I guess in this case it'd be science. Lightning beats Earth. Naruto would then yell, lightning style, lightning armor, raging wolf. Naruto would slam his body into the dome, as the sand around Gaara would then start to unfold. slowly drooping to the ground. As Gaara was now visible to Naruto's eye, Naruto would reach into the dome, pulling Gaara out. I'm no fool. That dome? Yeah, it acts as a shield. But in there, you can merge with the beast Shukaku. I felt it. I felt your disturbing chakra. Gaara of the Sand. Or should I call you Gaara, the Jinchuriki of the One-Tails? With that being said, Naruto would watch as a dome started to form against Gaara again, as he would kick the sand from forming, continuously punching, kicking, throwing kunai into it, everything he could to stop it from forming around Gaara. Damn it. Fine then. Lightning style. Lightning claw. With that, as the new dome formed, Naruto would cut straight through the dome, pulling Gaara out once more and into the open. It would be here that Naruto would let loose. 2 times, Gaara. 2 times you've done this. Gotten into this little dome, and it's in the second time that I've pulled your sorry... miserable existence out of this stupid little dome. With that being said, Naruto would jump into the air, kicking down on Gaara. He would then put together the hand signs for a jutsu, known as lightning style, lightning ball jutsu. This is actually a jutsu that Sarada knows, that she copied using the Sharingan. It was originally belonged to a Mist Ninja, I believe, in Boruto. Anyways, with that being said, Naruto would use this jutsu as Gaara would start to be electrocuted. With that, and Gaara being a little bit stunned, Naruto would drop down to the ground, kneeing Gaara in his chest. Gaara would cough up blood, as Naruto would quickly appear above Gaara, slamming his foot down into Gaara's head, as Gaara would fall straight flat to the ground. With that, Naruto would unsheath his blade. Gaara of the Sand, you're a Jinchuriki. Jinchurikis heal quickly. Trust me, I know. I'm sorry. This is gonna hurt like hell, but it's my only option. With that, Naruto would slam his blade directly down into Gaara's back. Gaara felt his body being stabbed. Damn it. My back. I can't feel my back. Why can I not feel my back? It's because my blade is funneling electricity through your spinal cord. If you were a normal Chunin, you would be dead, Gaara Kazekage. The electricity I'm throwing through your spinal cord now is not nearly enough to paralyze you. Luckily for you, that is. But it is enough to keep you immobilized. We can have ourselves a good little chat, Gaara. I don't want to talk to you. Don't you get that? I want to kill you, Naruto. Finally, you know my name. Now, let's talk, Gaara Kazekage. I don't want Gaara. Listen. I know where you are in life right now. A crossroads, pathways. Right now, you're probably hurt. You're probably going through unbelievable pain. Well, you've been going through this unbelievable pain your whole life, am I right? Oh, and not to forget, your closest shot to being a good person was ruined when you took your first life. I'm sure you regretted it. I have no idea how it went down. Maybe it was someone you loved. Maybe you didn't give a damn about the person. Maybe it was some random jonin on the battlefield. But you know what? You know, I've met my fair share of people in this world, but I've never come across someone with so much malice. Or rather, I should say, a Jinchuriki with so much malice. I feel bad for you. I really do. Because if I took just one wrong step, I could have ended up exactly like you, Gara. So I'm telling you this for your own good. Stop it. I'm the Jinchuriki of the Nine-Tails Fox. I know all about your pain. So don't even tell me that I don't know about it. Oh, and listen. What? I just wanted to say this. The Nine-Tails ravaged this village. I didn't grow up here, so luckily I didn't experience much harsh treatment as a young kid. It didn't shape my mind. Nowadays, from time to time, people do call me a demon. A beast, a monster, you get the point. But I can brush it off. I'm not the same kid that I was back in the day. So such things don't affect me anymore. So listen, Gara. Put it all behind you. Change. You've been going on about killing me. I suppose you do a lot of killing. I can only imagine how many people you've killed in your life. Actually, I don't even want to ask. But Gara, I mean this out of my utmost respect. You are Gara Kazekage, the son of the fourth Kazekage. So pick your ass up and stop acting like a baby. Is it just me, or did you just stutter? Uzumaki? Naruto? Is it just me, or are you still on your behind? Now get up. Grab my hand and pull yourself up. Do I need to repeat myself? Affirmative. Affirmative, Naruto. With that, Gara would grab Naruto's hand, picking himself up with the help of Naruto. With that, he would breathe in fresh air, and he would apologize to Naruto. He'd also apologize to Naruto for taking so many innocent lives in his life. With that being said, Gara would quickly leave the scene. It would be here that he would find Temari and Kankuro, dropping into their arms. They would then find a place for Gara to sleep, as Gara would begin to wake up soon afterwards. With that, he would wake up, apologizing to Kankuro and Temari for everything he put them through. All the harsh treatment, all the punishments, all the threats, everything. Temari and Kankuro both forgave Gara. His sudden kindness was surprising to them, to say the least. And with that being said, as for Naruto, well, shortly afterwards, he would return back to the Cloud Village. After nearly killing Gara and talking to Jutsuing him in this timeline. With that, on his way back to the Cloud Village, Naruto is tracked by Root Anbu. Gara is among these Root Anbu, as well as Danzo. Danzo took his time to capture Gara, watching his battle with Naruto. And Gara took his time to trace and track Naruto, following him. Naruto would set up camp, setting a fire for himself and going out hunting. Whilst going out to get some meat, he would be approached by an Anbu. Naruto would pause. An Anbu way out here? No. I'm being followed. Naruto would quickly disappear and reappear, about 100 meters in the sky, looking down on what would now be multiple Anbu walking into a clearing. with Danzo, Gaara, Tenten, Tamari, Kankuro, and Gaara. It's unclear why Tenten was here, but she was. With that being said, Naruto knew he had to save them. That he had to save Tenten, Tamari, Kankuro, Gaara, and thus he would, grabbing them all quickly using an advanced version of the body flicker jutsu. With that being said, he would return Tenten to the Leaf Village, and as for Gaara, Tamari, and Kankuro, he would carry them, all three of them, back to the Sand Village. With that, he would tell them to stay here, and that those people that took them are Root Anbu. With that being said, he would go back to his own homeland. And I'm not talking about the Leaf. Actually, quite the contrary. The Hidden Cloud Village. As Naruto walked through the gates, he would be greeted by many people. The people of the Cloud Village praised Naruto, you could say. They quite literally loved him. Why, you may ask? Well, first off, Naruto was Naruto. And second off, Naruto had a, you could say, charming personality that everyone loved. He always had an upbeat personality too, and in the Cloud Village, he was known for his greater-than-life persona. A charisma that he carried through his whole life. With that being said, Naruto would tell the Raikage, or his uncle, and his brother, Killer Bee, of what had happened, how he had been followed by the Root Anbu. With that, A and Killer Bee would immediately leave the village with Naruto, tracking down the Root Anbu. It would be here that a fight would ensue between Danzo, the Raikage, Naruto, and Killer Bee. With that being said, who would win? Well, the winner of this fight is what you could call Team B. Or Team A, I guess. Either one works. Or even Team C. Yeah, anyways. The Raikage, the fourth Raikage to be more exact, Naruto and Killer Bee would win against Danzo and his Root Anbu. With that being said, they would discover that Danzo can cheat death. And thus, they would continuously kill him until he no longer had the ability to cheat death. With that being said, Naruto would smirk. The man who had been following him was now dead. And thus, the Raikage would take Danzo's body back to the Leaf Village, telling Hiruzen that Danzo had tried to kill Naruto and or capture him for some nefarious reasons. And that he also had in possession of him a Leaf Genin, Tenten, and 3 Sand Chunin, Kankuro, Tamari, and Gaara Kazekage. With that being said, Hiruzen would take account of this information. And usually, if this was, pointless killing, a war could actually possibly ensue. But due to the fact that this killing was justified, and that Hiruzen knew of all of the horrible atrocities that Danzo was committing, he would let it slide, covering up the death of Danzo Shimura. With that being said, after being sought out by Naruto no longer has a need to be in the village. And thus he returns back to the Cloud Village. He sees it as being more safe, you could say. That was his excuse, at least. Now we have a time skip. 4 years, to be exact. Naruto's now 16 years old. And we're very deep into the time skip now. With that being said, this Gaara is strong enough to kill Deidara. Also, this should be noted, that we're skipping as far as the Great Ninja War. Basically, everything that's happened in the canon is going to happen in different ways. For instance, Gaara beats Deidara. For instance, nobody's ever poisoned by sorcery, and he is taken out by Granny Chiyo, Sakura, and a weakened Gaara. With that being said, there's a number of factors that tie into these changes, but they're quite simple, most of them for the most part. With that being said, Naruto continues to train, and he also gains a small love relationship with Hinata Hyuga. With that being said, we now enter the Great Ninja War, which has commenced, with Madara being reanimated. With that being said, Naruto would fight Madara Uchiha. Looking up at Madara, surrounded by the allied shinobi forces, Naruto's emotions were dull. His face was straight. He knew what he had to do, you could say. He had to kill Madara Uchiha. That was the only way to end this war. And thus, he rushed towards the top of the plateau that Madara stood atop. Madara and Naruto would clash midair, stopping only on mountains for brief seconds. 1, 2, 3 seconds, and they were back in the air, clashing blades, and sometimes even fist. You're quite skilled for a mere boy, young one. I'm not as young as I look. You don't look a day over 16. Huh. Well, then I guess I am as young as I look. Now, Rasengan! Naruto would rush towards Madara, slamming his Rasengan into Madara's battle armor and damaging it. This is nothing but a scratch, young boy. I assume you are the current reincarnation of Indra? Indra? Who the hell is that? Since you're so dumb, you might be the current reincarnation of Asura. Ugh, whatever. Uchiha style. Great Fireball Jutsu. Madara would send an Uchiha style Great Fireball Jutsu, hurling towards Naruto, who would dodge. But in the process, 100 lives would be taken, and fire would surround the allied shinobi forces. Damn it, Naruto thought to himself. I couldn't protect one guy? Ugh, let alone 100. I can't let Madara continue to live. I'm guessing that you want me dead now. Well, I don't know if you've realized, but every single time that you've dealt a fatal blow, my body has stitched itself back together. Because I am not necessarily alive. I am a reanimation, a reincarnation. You see, which means that you're a jutsu, right? Huh? What do you mean? Yeah, technically I am a jutsu. Enough information. I think I've had enough. Planetary devastation. With that, Madara's face would be punched, getting sent flying to the ground. I don't care whatever whatever you called it, you are. I will beat you until you're no longer breathing, living or dead. Naruto would continue to slam his fist into Madara's face, as Madara would start to heal faster than Naruto could punch, grabbing Naruto's punch before it could be thrown. You have got way too much spice. You're too arrogant. You're far too arrogant to be the current reincarnation of Indra. You must be Asura's reincarnation. Do you have a rival, boy? It's irrelevant. And if I do, then he's nowhere near here. We now skip to Sasuke, currently fighting Kabuto, with Itachi at his side. With that, we now skip back to Naruto. I will end you, Madara! With that, Naruto would stand back up to his feet. Lightning armor! Stage 2! Lightning style! Lightning ball jutsu! Lightning style! Lightning wolf jutsu! Lightning style! Lightning claw jutsu! Shadow clone jutsu! Multi-shadow clone jutsu! Now, wind style! Gale palm! Fire style! Fireball jutsu! Naruto's clones would use a combination of jutsus to attack Madara, but these jutsus would work as good as stomping an ant would do. Of course, they flattened the ant, but no more. They flattened Madara, but no more. But differently from stomping an ant. Madara couldn't feel a thing. With that, he would stand back up to his feet, bending over a little. It feels quite good to be able to beat the hell out of the current reincarnation of Asura. I don't know what the hell you're talking about me being some reincarnation, but I'll tell you this. I don't care who I'm the reincarnation of. Madara, Uchiha. The only thing that matters is you getting sent to the gates of hell. Now go there, you bastard! Naruto would rush towards Madara, slashing through him. Madara's body would just reconnect, as Naruto would continue his onslaught, clashing blades continuously with Madara. If only you were born in my time, we would have had so many battles, young one. Stop calling me young one. My name is Naruto Uzumaki. And Uzumaki? Oh. You must be then. You damn Uzumakis. Always getting in the way. Well, only so much I can do. And Senjus, do you know any? Do they still live? Senju? What the hell is that? Oh. Huh. What about the Uchiha? Do they... Yes, the Uchiha exist. Why? They just exist? You spoke of them like they're not a formidable clan. Wow. Sorry to break it to you, old guy. Or, I guess your name's Madara. But the Uchiha clan is 2 members strong. Sasuke Uchiha and Itachi Uchiha, his older brother. No. How the hell did that happen? You've got to be kidding me. It's like I thought. There would never be peace in this world. Planetary devastation. With that, a meteor would come hurling towards the ground. Naruto would look as Gaara and Oniki would go to stop it. No. Naruto would yell out. No! This is my fight! Odama! Rasengan! Naruto would jump off of the ground, sprinting as he ran atop a plateau, running up the mountain and catapulting off of it and into the air, until he got high enough to slam his Rasengan into the meteorite. With that, he would rip right through it. Now he stood atop a hurling meteor that was rushing right down to the earth. Damn it! Naruto would pull out his short sword and his real sword, cutting straight through the meteor once more, until he continued to cut it into multiple, smaller and smaller pieces. Damn it, this is taking all of my strength just to cut it into these small bits. But if I don't, Naruto imagined what would happen. Debris crushing the Allied Shinobi forces. He couldn't have that. He knew most of the men down there, even if not personally. He knew their names, he knew their ninja IDs, and he knew their clans. And so he couldn't stop slashing the meteorite. Fine, boy. Keep testing me, Naruto. Planetary devastation! Blood would start to leak from Naruto's eye. What the hell? Why is there blood? Am I actually overexerting myself? I see. Another meteorite. This must be my body's way of telling me that I can't do this. That I can't take on another meteorite. Well, body, I don't know if you know this, but I'm the one in control here. Yeah, you're the brains of this operation, but I'm the muscle. And I'm the only muscle you got. Now, 22 slashes. Divine heavenly lightning. Armor of the wind. With that, Naruto would catapult off of a piece of debris from a meteorite, rushing into the air to stop this meteor. It would be here that Naruto would be unable to stop it with his mere cuts alone, holding the meteorite for only 2.3 seconds. The meteor was too strong. He would be sent hurling to the ground, sticking onto the meteorite like a fly to syrup, you could say. With that being said, honey would work better, but you get the point. With that being said, Gaara would then use his sand to stop the meteorite in place, as Oniki would make it lighter. Now, Gaara would lift the meteorite higher and higher, throwing it across the battlefield. So the boy lives. This has been an excellent showing of my power. How about a third meteorite? Naruto would appear in front of Madara, rage and hatred in his eyes. 2 of those meteorites was enough. Naruto would punch Madara in the gut. I've had enough of this, Madara! Naruto would then kick Madara 3 times, as Madara would go flying into the air. Now, lightning style. Lightning cutter. With that, a huge amount of electricity would surround Naruto's hand, as in his other hand he would prepare a sealing jutsu. You know, Madara, I don't know much about sealing jutsu. If I did, I would have used one on you already. But I do know a bit. I'm the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki. So I know a little bit about sealing. And I've been taught one sealing jutsu. It's risky. Really, really, really risky. Because it takes nearly 80% of my chakra. But if it means sealing you away, then I can save all of my comrades. Every last one of them that stands with me here today will survive if I can do this. So I have to do it. Now, straight sealing jutsu of the cloud. 8 tentagram sealing jutsu. This jutsu was originally used to seal the 8 tails, Yuki. But in unknown and unforsaken circumstances, it can be used to seal away whole ninja. And even be used to seal away undead shinobi. Naruto would rush towards Madara. It's over for you! Lightning cutter! Naruto would stab through Madara's body, stunning him. Whilst Madara was stunned, he would slam down his hand right into Madara's chest. It's over. Damn it. You Uzamakis. Madara would start to feel his pull on the world shaking, as his body and spirit would part. It would be here that he would bring his body back, being rebirthed as Madara Uchiha. Finally, real fresh air. No, I used 8 tentagram seal. Yes, boy. If I was a normal reincarnation, or I guess Edo Tensei, or reanimation, it doesn't really matter, then maybe, just maybe, I would have died. But I'm not normal. And nor is this body that I've been given. Now then, how about I go and absorb that lightning cutter of yours? The Rinnegan would now be present in Madara's eyes, as he would grab Naruto's hand. The lightning style would then dissipate. He absorbed the jutsu. Damn it! What the hell? That's what? I think this fight is over. You mentioned earlier when you were blabbing on about the jutsu that 80% of your chakra was now gone. With less than 20% left, you are nothing but a fly. Red and blue aura would surround Naruto as he dipped into the Nine-Tails chakra. I said 80% of my reserves. I didn't say a single thing about the beast in my belly. Come on, Kurama. Give me everything you've got. During the time skip, Naruto and the Nine-Tails had gained a relationship. A very strong relationship. So much so that Naruto can, and at this point will, have access to the KCMs. Or, in other words, Kyuubi Chakra Mode, or Kurama Chakra Mode. With that being said, Naruto would slap his hands together. Come on, Nine Tails! Naruto's body would be engulfed in an orange glow, as he would slam his fist into Madara over and over again. Now more, I need more power! With that, he would continue to get stronger and stronger, as he now entered KCM 2. The ninja around him would now start to bum rush Madara, whilst Naruto was fighting him. As Madara would be attacked from all angles now, being attacked from Oniki, Gaara, Naruto, and every other allied shinobi ninja that could throw a punch. Naruto would be swarmed, as he would let go of Madara. With that, Madara was now the only one being swarmed. Oniki would tell the men to move out of the way, as he would yell out, "Particle-style jutsu!" It was unknown what followed, but Madara's body was no longer present. Madara was dead. Dead. Naruto would sigh. Finally, it's over. He's finally dead. At this point, Itachi and Sasuke have now beaten Kabuto Yakushi, the one controlling the Edo Tenseis. And thus, the war is completely avoided. Or rather, it is stopped here. It is ended, you could say. With the defeat of Madara Uchiha and Kabuto Yakushi, as well as all of the other reanimated shinobi that died in the process. B, for instance, had to fight the previous Jinchuriki of the Eight Tails in this war. That hit home, you could say. Quite literally. With that being said, Naruto would return back to the Cloud Village. 2 years would pass. His relationship would continue to develop with Hinata, but most of all, the fourth Raikage would decide to retire. And thus, Killer Bee, Yugito Ni, and Naruto Uzumaki would fight for the title of Raikage. With that being said, Naruto would win this battle. Being victorious, he would become the fifth Raikage of the village hidden in the clouds. With that being said, I hope you guys all enjoyed, and now we are going into Boruto. If you've made it this far, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, as it would be deeply appreciated. With that being said, Hinata moves to the hidden cloud village so that she can be closer to Naruto. And over a few months, Naruto and Hinata would have a child. A few months being 9 months, as well, yeah. With that being said, they would continue to have children and more. They have a lot more children in this timeline than they did in the canon, let's just say that. How many children? 4. Boruto, Himawari, a child named Suto, and another child named Kana. Suto, Kana, Himawari, and Boruto. I'm not going to go too deep into Boruto, as it's not really necessary for this what if. Boruto is going to change completely in the first place due to the fact that he's growing up in the Cloud Village instead of the Leaf Village. And thus, it's not really a story that I feel like telling. And not if it doesn't stick to the original Boruto, at least. Not to say that I wouldn't like to change the original Boruto. He has many flaws. But due to the fact that Boruto is now one of 4, he's a much different character. And he's strong as hell. With that being said, this is really just where I'm going to end off the what if. I hope you guys all enjoyed the video. It took a long time to make. And, I don't really know what to say from here on. But, I love you all. And with that being said, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Share the video to a friend that likes what or just anime content in general. Comment down below what if suggestions or what if ideas that you would like me to consider or do. And with that being said, maybe if you're lucky enough, I will do them. But I guess it just depends on your luck in that department. So, sorry for going so fast with that. I have a fast tongue if I want it to be. I'm sure all of you old viewers know that. I used to talk really, really fast, and it started to become a problem, if I'm being honest. Now, enough rambling. This is the end of the video. I hope you guys all enjoyed today's video. And, yeah. This has been Rami X, and, Rami X out.